I may break up because the area that I'm in, I'm passing this field. And I wanted to talk really quick, to see. I already decided with my family, with my daughter, that we were not going to participate in Halloween. Once I realized the magnitude of what Halloween stands for, I was like, oh, heck no. Oh, heck no. But the more and more I start looking at videos and listening to people's dreams, I'm like, I know I'm not tripping. There's something about the darkness that happens during the time of Halloween. Like, you got people that practice witchcraft that is waiting to do some craziness on Halloween. And I'm like, me and mine, we're not it. But I started to think about not just the spiritual aspect, the demonic things of it, but the whole knocking at people's doors and saying trick or treat, and you're dressed up as monsters or or other type of whatevers or whatever. Some people try to put on costumes or whatever like that. But it's bottom line, the things that okay, the things that come with it is so demonic. It is so freaking demonic. So, like, for instance, I think I told y'all when I went to Home Depot, this was just in September, I walked in Home Depot. They started selling like crazy demonic um figurines for people to put on porches and stuff. And I said, you know what? I remember when we went, but this is just outrageous. You got 80 foot you got food. And I'm like, what the freak is that? And when I looked, it looked like a huge gargoyle. I don't even know what the freak is, but as I drove up closer, because I was going past the house, it's a black cat. But the old saying of a black cat: if you cross his path, you get bad luck. All of that other crazy type stuff. So you be promoting witches and warlocks and demons and legions and cats and stuff like that in front of me. Why would we be off of the simple fact that you knocking at a witch door looking at some gruesome Freddy Krueger type statue just so they can get some chocolate? Nah, that sounds like temptation to sin, if you ask me, or a hell ride. And now that I realize just how the meaning of Halloween and the darkness, the activity that entails, they are looking for children and the innocent to be a part, to partake in something that's so demonic. There are people in witchcraft that when Halloween comes around, they start casting spells and doing all types of crazy stuff. That's why I be like, nope, lights go off. Nope, I'm not participating in none of that type of stuff. And nowadays, you don't even know who's literally sitting behind the mask, and you don't even know what you wearing on your face or where this mask has been conjured up from, or what entities connect her dog. And she was like, it's okay, I don't know why he's so afraid. And the dog was super afraid of one of the so-called figurines that was, and I say figurines, but this, I guess, one of the props that was in Home Depot, that the dog was like whimpering and barking, because animals can sense unclean spirits. They can sense spirits. So when an animal is barking at something that's not there, it can sense that there is something unclean that's not there. So the mere fact that this animal is barking at one of these huge props that's in Home Depot, a demonic thing, so somebody can put on their lawn for trick-or-treaters, that lets you know that there are entities that are attached to these things. There are entities that are attached to it, and they are looking and lurking for someone and something that they can be attached to. One lady, I heard her dream today, and she was talking about how on Halloween, all of these jack-o'-lanterns, just all of the pumpkins turned into jack-o'-lanterns and started chasing people. I automatically got what I got from the dream and translating it, and what I got from it is that there are entities that are attached to carving a pumpkin like that, putting the light and making it look scary. These jack-o'-lanterns, these demonic things, are looking for folks that they can taunt and attach to, and those that they're looking for have invited these unclean spirits to them. They have literally invited them into their world. When you sit up here and partake in something like that, you are inviting the darkness into your home, your house. And when someone is knocking at the door and you're opening up the door, you're leading the way for these unclean things to come into your home. And as Christians, I don't understand why you would be dressing up. Some people are like, this is so fun. Okay, this is 2023. Do you know what type of demonic things are out there? I mean, they were already out there, but now people are openly telling you what type of spells they plan to cast on Halloween. So all I gotta say is this: is please be careful. Please be careful. Some people think it's just a good time, but those of us who know better, we ain't touching it with a 10-foot pole. And my daughter, she's never been where she was trick-or-treating when she was young. This is when she was like maybe 6 months, and I had her toting her around. And and I remember when her dad was there, and her dad was long gone by then, but I remember we had a conversation before she was born on whether or not to even celebrate in something like that. So all I can say is this: is that please be careful. I really feel like this, like people are partaking and making fun of the purge or the killer squad or whatever you want to call them, and they think it's cute. So I really think like a lot of stuff is going to go down come Halloween. Hopefully everybody stays safe and stay in their homes, but be very careful what you messing around with, because you may open up a door and find it hard as heck to get rid of that unclean spirit that you invited in. And when that lady said that those people, these jack-o'-lanterns was chasing after people, is demonic entities that are sitting up here that are being conjured up, and they come, and you know who they're going after? They're going after believers. They're going after non-believers too, but the non-believers was used to conjure themselves up so they can try to partake in lukewarm folks, and go not partake but go after lukewarm people and basically torture them. All of a sudden you find yourself with depression, suicidal thoughts, and all of this crazy type stuff. That's why you don't mess with no Ouija board. You don't mess with demonic stuff. Stop looking at them demonic movies. But daggone sure, please don't have a party with the devil. And don't dress your child as something and then have them partaking in an evil day and then say it was just merely fun. Because don't get it wrong, don't get it twisted. Sometimes I would think, well, I grew up and we didn't, nothing really happened. But I feel like this, like things did happen, things did happen around that time. And it happened to a select few. And thank God that I'm saved. And now I understand what that day represents. You know what I mean? It's like basically it's a day of celebrating Satan. And how can you possibly be saved, sanctified, a believer, and be sitting up here putting on horns in the tail? It doesn't make sense. Like I really believe like our society is trying to desensitize our children into believing that monsters are wonderful friends. That's why they always have monster spelling bee and monster mathematic quizzes and stuff like that, and monster friends, so we can desensitize them into thinking that the dark is good and the light is evil. I'm not, all I can say is this, is that, please be careful. Please understand that when you are dealing with witchcraft on a day like that, like, man, be careful. Be careful. Be careful. So I'm really grateful that I am not participating in that, and my daughter is not participating in that. And yeah, and I'm going to have to teach my daughter exactly what Halloween entails, and the reason why we don't participate. Couple of that, and then my child is very innocent, so I told her, I said, Stephanie, I said, close your eyes. There's some spooky things over there. And my daughter literally closed her eyes. She did not open her eyes. She closed her eyes. And see, she literally closed her eyes, and at first I just thought that was sweet, but then I'm like, nah, for real, for real, some of that stuff was gruesome looking. It was it was literally gruesome looking. Like, I wouldn't even want her to look over there, and you see a woman with blood on her hands and a dead doll on a platter. Like, what the heck has gotten into this? That's what evil is. Evil will start to literally show its head, and then you start to realize, why the heck would I sit up here with my kid and try to pull up to your house, and you got this huge Freddy Krueger looking thing in front of your house? It's meant to scare, and it, just the mere fact what these things represent, like, they're not, it's not good. They're It's not good. And the things that come along with it, witches and witches, witches are real. Like, they are demonic beings. Those things are freaking real. You know, those, they're real. And so, people don't be believing it, and they're just like, oh, it's just so innocent. Until they're like, I can't sleep at night. What's that noise? The window just shut on its own. Like, what the heck did you invite in your house? So you got to be very, very careful. There's a reason, even down to the daggone candy. You know what I mean? Like, just the same way, like some demonic music, they play demonic things over the lyrics or whatever, like that, subliminally. Trust me, subliminally, they putting something in their candy. Subliminally, they're doing something with the Halloween decorated stuff. They're doing things very gruesome, and it is not to honor God. It is literally to honor Satan. And they want you right along with the ringer, line right on up, picking out your outfit on a day that's supposed to be a day of horror. And then you inviting your children into it. You gotta be very freaking careful. Like, I don't want my daughter to see something and be like wondering what the heck was that. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want her to have nightmares and stuff like that because she saw something that she literally, it looked like it moved. And I'm gonna tell you something too. Children are a little bit more sensitive, especially in the spiritual sense, because not too long ago they came out of heaven, so they're very sensitive. You know what I mean? They may see stuff that you don't see. So you got to be very careful with inviting or having your kid dressed up, and oh, they look so cute, like a little cute little transformer, or oh, they was just so innocent, and yet while you're sitting up here trick-or-treating, they look over and see some demonic being. They see it, but you don't see it. You know what I mean? Like, you got to be very careful what you're doing and what you're allowing in your household, especially those of you who call yourselves believers. Because if you believe in Christ and you believe in the good, you do know that there's evil, right? And you do know that yeah, there's evil everywhere, but specifically on Halloween, oh, it's evil. They got some evil things going on. So just please take heed of that. I don't, think people are going to do what they want to do. But I ain't messing around with it. I don't mess. Even my mom, we know. It was just like, oh, this is just we're having fun. We're just putting on a mask and we're partying and we're dressed up until I was like, what you mean? Which is come together and they start conjuring up stuff. Yeah, girl. I mean, a lot of people. I was seeing on YouTube. Yeah, so this is the day of when witches come together and we just start doing what? And Satanists do crazy things too. Like this is not just like some dressed up. Like they are literally they're going out their way for gruesomeness. And I just don't understand. Like, no, I understand. I get it. But my baby not gonna be a part of that. That is innocent as she is. She's not gonna look up and see something that's going to scare the daylights out of her. It's like, children are so innocent. Why are you so quick to push them into the lion's den of evil things? I can't even look at evil stuff. I can't look at creatures or things that would scare the heck out of me. I remember seeing that Exorcist of Emily Rose. That mess almost scared the mess out of me because that was real. It was an exorcist, and I'm like, and they didn't come up with all of these demonic movies that scare you, and you have no idea these people actually conjure something on stage. you know but you open up the door and allow it to come through your airway, through your TV, through your screen, through your phone, and you have invited this thing through a portal into your very existence. You got to be very careful, honey. Be very careful what y'all sitting up here celebrating and what y'all into. Oh, Halloween is just supposed to be for fun. Okay. Fun is balloons, cake, and everybody smiling and really good vibes. I don't see devil horns and witchcraft and boobles and goblins, something that's going to scare the daggone soul out of your body. Why is that supposed to be fun? And I was ignorant at one point in time, thinking, oh, there's nothing wrong with that, until the realization of Halloween, or how that came, and the tale to go to the party and drink, or even if you're not drinking, but partaking in anything that is basically praising Satan. Do you think God is just going to say, oh, she can have fun and just, have fun with the devil for one night? No, absolutely not. God is not happy with that. And this is the day and hour now where we can't be sitting up here playing around with stuff like that. People decorating their little trees with orange lights, nice big pumpkin heads with the big evil eyes. Oh wow, that looks great. With the big evil eyes. Big old witches on the outside, huge cats, black cats, you know, big dragons and stuff like every little. It's like having what are those things? A mascot from hell coming up to represent the creatures that they represent, and then you sitting up here parading it around like, yeah, this is wonderful. No, I'm sorry. I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but me and my house, we ain't doing that. We ain't doing that at all. We're not. We're just not. We're not. We not doing that.